today we are going to listen to the ASUS ROG Carnyx, which is this microphone that looks awesome. But take a look at the software, which we will take a look in just a few moments. Some of the things that we can change with the ASUS Armory Crate so that we can personalize the sound that we get out of this microphone. And now on the original stand so that we can take a listen exactly how it comes out of factory. But personally, I do love to have it on a boom arm, and for that we just need to remove the shock mount with that screw, and that is it. And if we prefer a more podcast style, then we can put it in a boom arm. All we need to do is to remove this small screw right over here, which is a standard size for the microphone. As I'm using a ball head, what happened was that I had to put a step-up ring, but basically that is it. And then we can just use the weight that we want, and it captures a great audio. Now we could even go a little bit further and remove it out of the frame, but to do so I would need two things. First of all, I would need to put it in a different position, straight to the front, something like this, and then I would need to put it to the top and it would capture my voice. Now, I'm noticing that it also casts shadows, so I would need to address my lights on my setup, because at this moment the lights are right over there and I would need some lighting coming from the front. But that's I believe that it looks so awesome that it doesn't need to go out of the frame. But this is one of the options that we have instead of using the stand, just using in a boom arm. Now we can use it on any operating system, macOS, Linux or Windows. And if you are watching this video on your Windows 10 or 11 computer and you still haven't activated and can't even edit your desktop icons, don't forget to check out cdksales.com, where we can find budget official OEM keys at an affordable price, and with the coupon code that you can see on screen and down below on the video description, it will get even cheaper. And besides Windows 11 Pro, if you are looking for Windows 10 or even an Office suite that we can aggregate directly to our Microsoft account, you can use the same coupon code, which will give you the best price possible at this moment. So just in case, the link will be down below. The ASUS ROG Carnyx is a USB condenser microphone with a cardioid pattern. Now, cardioid, you can read about it, but I will share with you in just a moment. Right now, if I keep on talking on this side, for example, or if I turn the microphone right over here, what happens is that the microphone will block the sounds coming on those directions, with the exception at the front, which is exactly where the microphone wants to pick up our voice and give the richest sound possible. So this is the cardioid pattern, which will try to block all the sounds that we have from other people, annoying noises and so on and so forth, and only giving the sound to this direction. It has 24-bit up to 190 kilohertz with a 25mm capsule, and it comes with the stand that we already have seen, this really awesome shock mount that will help to absorb vibrations, and it has underneath the stand a rubber protection to cushion desk impacts. And this will depend on the tasks that we will be doing. If we are hitting our keyboard, we will try to check out how we can decrease the keyboard, but one of the ways is if I stop talking, but we will check that on the software. It has this button here at the front, which I can press to select microphone or headphones, which will allow me to control the volume of the microphone or the headphones in case I want to connect my headphones directly to the microphone, which I'm not using right now. I'm recording through my software, but if I'm doing a live stream, I don't want to have latency. And here we have 0 latency, while, for example, right over here, I have 200 milliseconds of latency, which is not good for streaming. We can also select the high pass filter, which will activate and block the low frequency sounds, and it also has the mute button, which we just need to shut down the microphone and it will be blinking in red, which is Really cool and easy to see that we have muted. Now let's take a look at the desktop with the software, which is the Armory Crate, which we have seen here many times before, but today just for the ASUS ROG Carnyx. Now we have 4 tabs right over here. Regarding the microphone, at this moment I'm using a noise gate, and there are other pieces of software that we can use like OBS, but right over here it's really straightforward. If I deactivate the noise gate, you will notice that at this moment it's picking all the noises here at the office, and this is a quiet office. We have seen this with some other microphones which will pick a lot more. This one is actually quite silent, but this is the background noise. And on the outside I've got the swimming pool pump working, so we can hear annoying frequency right over here. I will turn it on while I stop talking. And there we go. No noise at all. Just when I start talking it will open and there will be a few noises coming, but it will do a great job. Now we can play around with this depending on the environment that we are, and of course with a noise gate what happens is that if we push too much it will affect our voice, so we will need to play around depending on our voice, our volume, and the environment that we are using. Here probably the 60s, 57s or so will be the best level. Now if I turn on the perfect voice, what we get right over here is that in a really simple way it will give us a more, I would say, sweet sound, or my voice becomes sweeter, and if I turn it off it becomes drier, and turning on we will see, or we will hear, that it goes sweeter and sweeter, and right over here it will get a bit drier. So this is something that you need to play around as well, depending on the voice that you have and depending also on how you prefer to hear your voice. Now in my particular case I would probably in some case scenarios use right over here, and in some case scenarios I would completely disable and have this more broadcast or podcast voice, but this will depend on our taste. Now we also have the high pass filter right over here, so I can enable, instead of enabling on the software, if I press the button for 2 seconds or so it will enable, and right now high pass filter enabled to block a few frequencies, and I can disable on the software, it will disable right over here as well. Now if we go to these settings, we also have a few settings regarding the playback. We have the 24-bit up to 192 kilohertz, the same on the recording. We can listen while we are streaming. At this moment I'm using OBS, so I don't need to press right over here. And then on the lightning side we have all these effects. If I want I can select static, and if I want I can just select any color, preset colors, or I can just drag right over here and select exactly the color that I want, and I can adjust the color right over here. So Armory Crate, we have used it a lot, so you know that we can customize peripherals, and the ASUS ROG Carnyx is one of them. I love breathing on all my motherboards and so on, so this is it, the breathing, it will give us this really awesome effect. Then we have the strobing, which is a bit quicker. We can also change colors, color cycle, which is the one that comes by default, the rainbow, and then the music. Music is the one that will pick up sounds, and depending on the loudness of the sound it will give us these different effects and looks awesome. And of course if we have a music it will jump with the music rhythm, which is really awesome as well. And now let's put back on breathing, and then lastly the firmware update, which basically this is it. Now if we go to the microphone and the noise gate active, one of the things that you might listen is that when I'm talking and if I press the keyboard I will hear it. This is a mechanical keyboard that I'm touching right now, and if I stop talking we almost don't hear the keyboard. And of course if we play around with the noise gate we will be able to be more aggressive and eliminate the mouse touches and the keyboard touches depending on the way that we are using, depending also if we are using a stand or a boom arm. But the tool is here really simple to use, and basically that is it. This is the ASUS ROG Carnyx. Hopefully this video was helpful in some way, and if it was, don't forget that usual thumbs up right over there, which is really appreciated on this side of the screen. My name is Roberto Jorge, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.